And the game of the year is Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh my god, bro! Come on!
Yo, sorry, man. I fell asleep. What's going on?
Yo, I just finished watching the Game Awards.
Oh, what's going on?
This game that nobody knows about just got Game of the Year. Baldur's Gate? Is that what it's called?
Baldur's Gate 3? You mean the game that everyone is having an insane amount of fun playing?
Yo, whatever, man. Whatever, man. I really think there was another game or other games that should have got Game of the Year.
Yeah, bro, I'm with you, man. Like, Zelda was pretty good. Alan Wake was pretty good. I mean, Call of Duty. What? Man, I absolutely love going into the game and playing for hours just to grind the Mega Abomination just to get a rare Ether tool, man. I freaking love it. You should really give it a try, man. I'm telling you, you'll love it. Call of Duty Zombies has come a long way from what it was back in 2008 in World at War. From the story to the gameplay, it's a totally different experience than what it used to be. Each iteration of this mode has had something changed up about it to make it feel like its own experience, for the better or worse. And this one pretty much follows suit. This year's iteration is definitely a form of zombies, meaning it's got perks, and it's got pack-a-punch, and it's got wonder weapons and weapon mods like dead wire and brain rot that zombies used to have. It's got the elements to make it feel like another iteration of what we know to be zombies, but there's a ton of things that really just make it feel something like DMZ with a zombie skin over top of it. From the kind of addicting gameplay loop to the lack of good loot, to the constant game crashing and bugs I've experienced during this time that I've played this game, I'm here to explain why this iteration of zombies is sometimes good, sometimes bad, and sometimes very, very ugly. And should you put this game on your list of things to ask Santa for Christmas this year? This is Claim Rally, and welcome to the Christmas season. Now, to understand the context and viewpoint of this video, you need to understand that I am in fact, most of the time, a solo player. I'm sure some of you guys can relate to that. And being a solo player, playing zombies all these years, you have the capability to do stuff in the game and run it at your own pace, as slow as you want or as quick as you want. It just depends on how good you are and how much you're willing to put in the hours to get to that round 100, or to finish that Easter egg, or to finish that challenge. These games, I would honestly say, I honestly think catered to be a solo player experience first, then outfitted to be a co-op game. I honestly think that that's the best route to go with when making a video game with co-op in mind. If you have fun by yourself, there's almost no doubt that you're gonna have fun with other people, because that's usually what happens with some of the games that suck. At least they're fun messing around with friends, you know? And I think that's something that Zombies has achieved with every iteration prior to this one, except for one of them. But I never felt left out or forgotten about because the game was possible to play by myself. That's how Zombies always was, you know, good for solo or co-op in terms of lore and in terms of gameplay. In terms of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, this game fucking sucks to be a solo player in. All right, first off, this game's story is total ass, and I could not care any less about what the fuck is going on with these guys. And if you know me, and have been watching my horror game videos, I've mentioned that I like being immersed into video games, especially horror ones, no doubt, but just games in general I like being immersed in. So if the story and the lore sucks, that's one less way for me to get immersed into the game. So I have to rely on the gameplay itself to suck me dry and immerse me into it. No. I will say, despite them wanting to make this game for a broader audience, a big philosophy I have about this game is that it's kind of difficult to get into if you're just getting into zombies during this iteration instead of coming from an older iteration. However, once you're into it, it's kind of easy to stay hooked when you're into the game and you learn the mechanics and you learn and understand how things work. Honestly, the gameplay is surprisingly addictive, and that surprised me. And I did not think that I'd be wanting to play it as much as I am currently. Hell, I would even say that some of the mechanics of the game are very well implemented. The Pack-a-Punch, for example. That's a classic Zombies staple and experience that people have with each of the maps, and the way they formatted it to be levels integrated with the zones was really cool, and it was a great way to innovate the Pack-a-Punch in a small way, but I think it does it very well. It's a really cool feature to make you feel like you're progressing throughout the match. Another thing that was really well done and really well implemented were I'd say the perks. I think all the perks are good, and being able to buy them without a perk limit really takes the pressure off of you having to make a decision on what perks to get in this game. Because in the old ones, you know, you only had 4 perks that you could purchase by itself without any other means. But I guess in Cold War they made it so that you could just buy perks however you want, however many you want, and they implemented that in this game as well. So I guess that's kind of a W on this game, but I guess it kind of started in Cold War, but I'm gonna give this a W here because I think it works out for this mode. All of the perks make you feel like you're getting the same amount of buff per purchase, meaning each perk seems to be balanced in an equal way to one another. I do think there are some perks that are slightly better than others in some circumstances. Like, I think Stamina Up and Speed Cola are insanely good to have when getting into the high tier zones. But overall, I think they did a great job with the balancing. I also do think that the overall gameplay loop of beat contracts, get rewards, loot, complete activities, upgrade gun, go to higher tier is a kind of simple yet kind of solid and addicting loop of things to do in order to keep you hooked on the game for the hour or so that you play the game for, if you decide to stay in it that long. And part of those rewards that you get from doing those activities, I think another good thing is the wonder weapons and kind of the culture around the wonder weapons being the good thing about it. There's a bad thing coming up later, but I do think this part about the wonder weapons is a good thing, meaning my boy, the ray gun. Bro, for years, my boy has gotten the shit end of the stick because there are so many other better wonder weapons to have. But I feel like it's 2011 again, because whenever someone gets the fucking ray gun, it's like,
I got the teddy bear!
I got the ray gun schematic! I got the ray gun schematic! Let's go! About this bitch!
they just won the fucking lottery, bro. I'm so happy to see that they put some respect on my boy, the ray gun again. And the Wonderwaff too, man. Since Black Ops 3, Wonderwaff has kind of been like, in terms of, you know, quality wonder weapon compared to everything else we've gotten. But it's the same thing. I feel like they feel like legendary weapons, the literal sense of the word legendary, not in terms of rarity. They feel like legendary weapons that you find and are just so amazed that you have them. The Scorcher is really cool too, and I like that they kind of made a wonder weapon designed for Modern Warfare Zombies with, you know, flying around the map and stuff. I think it works for this. And the VR11, where is this gun? I have barely seen any gameplay footage of this fucking gun. It looks so cool, but I've only seen like 2 or 3, 4 videos on it. Does it even exist? Which leads me to my next point. Where's all the fucking loot? Yo, I have played this game for probably 30 hours so far. Do you know how many times I have been blessed with the reward of a ray gun? I want you to guess how many times I have gotten the ray gun in a reward. 0!
Revive me. I'm the
Nothing.
man. I got the
Nothing!
dude.
I have yet to be rewarded with a ray gun from any reward rift or any loot whatsoever. Bro, I got the Scorcher once from a tier 3 contract, so at least that was pretty cool. And I got the Wonderwaff case from a fucking tier 2 contract. Like, what? It was absolutely wild to me, but that's my point. Where's the loot? Bro, it's absolutely insane that I've only ever seen the ray gun in my hands once, and that was from a friend that I didn't even get for myself. The fucking ray gun, dude. The staple zombies weapon. And I rarely even see it. Bro, I bet you half the people playing this fucking mode don't even know the ray gun is coded in this fucking game, let alone getting it. Bro, these loot drops are absolutely abhorrent. I managed to get myself to tier 3 alone and grind the Mega Abomination with the Juggernaut suit, and I lied to you not. I lied to you not. One of the rewards I got was a fucking rare ether tool. Bro, am I a joke to you? Bro, these drop rates are insanely low, like way too low. Tier 3, let alone this whole game sometimes, is way too hard on solo to be getting these shit rewards. I feel like the game should recognize how many people you have in your squad when you pick up a contract and then adjust the loot pool and the difficulty that way. I'm sure it does the difficulty, but at least the loot pool as well, so that if you're solo and complete a fucking mega abomination, you have a higher chance of getting something like a ray gun or a Wonderwolf case or something like that. Not even the schematic, like you just get a ray gun. Like that would be dope. I think my main sentiment about that point is that not a lot of people have the time to play this game. I'm lucky enough to be able to play this game as much as I can, but even I'm starting to get responsibilities being, you know, in my mid-20s. I can't spend all this time playing this game because I'm not a full-time content creator yet. But for real, like, I got responsibilities. I can't be grinding this game like I was when I was 15. And I think a lot of people agree with that sentiment. But honestly, why even bother? Even if you do get the ray gun, you can use it right away in your next game, and it has an indefinite amount of uses. However, 2 business days is how long I have to wait to use this gun in order to ship to my fucking house, bro. I can order something on Amazon and get it the same day in real life. 2 days. Is that how long you don't want me to play your game, dude? That is downright grim. That is straight up sinister stuff. 2 fucking days. And for some of the rewards, it's 3 days. What? That is absurd. And that's not to mention the insane cooldown time for the other items, like a fucking epic ether tool schematic, just a purple upgrade. I extracted this from a tier 3 mega abomination. I was like, oh shit, now I can use this more often, so I can just upgrade my weapon to purple and then just start jumping to tier 2 zone more comfortably. Oh yeah, once every 10 hours. Are you yanking my balls, bro? And the fucking stash space is way too small, dude. Like, this can't be real, right? Like, there's no way they really thought this was just an okay thing to have in this game. Honestly, I think either one of 2 things happened. One, this game was supposed to have a grimy microtransaction system to make the time go quicker, to make you pay for it like a fucking mobile game, which is a scary thought in of itself, but I'm not surprised that, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. But then they cut it out last minute to avoid another controversy. Or they might be wanting to drop that system later on in the game's lifespan because they know that we'll be getting tired of waiting for this stuff to cool down. So we're just gonna fucking buy it. Now, obviously, that's fucking speculation, and I have no clue, like, why they did this, but like, why else, dude? That is absurd. I think if they're gonna have a cooldown, they should set it for like a single session of gameplay, not my session of games 3 days in the future. That's insane. Like, maybe once every hour or 2 hours for your like ray gun or something. Like, that seems more okay. Like, I'm like, all right. And then I know there are ways to decrease the cooldown time on your insured weapon, but I don't think there's any way to do it for any of your items like wonder weapons. Maybe there is and I haven't seen it, but like, just that alone being 3 days for your cooldown time to use a weapon in the fucking video game is crazy. I'm not even at the ugly yet. Bye bye. The solo play of this game is, as I mentioned, bad enough. I can't even begin to try to play some of this game's content because it's so damn hard. Like the new tier 4 zone and shit, dude. I ain't fucking doing that. There's no way. Not even the fucking worm I don't think I could do. I might be able to. Maybe if I seriously sweated, but like, come on, man. I don't want to sweat that hard in Zombies. That's for FromSoft games. Come on, man. That's for Elden Ring. But to add on top of that, my brothers, I had acquired the Wonderwolf DG2 from the tier 2 loot zone as I mentioned before. I immediately extracted with it. The next game I played it, yanked it out, and guess what happened? My game crashed. I'm aware that this is a thing that has been made aware of, and crashing has definitely gotten better, at least for me, since the game first came out. But dude, come on. There's nothing more defeating than just totally losing your shit after working for so long to get it. It makes me scared to play this mode because, man, it sucks because there's so many people having this problem. The really sad thing is, like, this happens for every launch for Zombies, at least within my most recent memory. It happened for BO3, BO4. I'm sure it happened with Cold War, and it's happening here too. It's just really upsetting because we really love this game mode and we want to put our time into it, but if we lose our shit, we're gonna feel like we can't. I really wish this issue gets put to the top of the priority list for things to be fixed, and I'm sure it is, and I think it's the most I've crashed in a Zombies game ever, which is really unfortunate. All right, I'm going off script for this part here, just because I just played a game and it was completely full of just absolutely bad bugs and glitches, man. This game is awful. This, like, it's the pure definition of unpolished. This isn't like, I'm just gonna play this. Here you go. Like, I tried verifying all my files and I tried to make sure everything was good on my end. I have a decent computer. I mean, come on, this is crazy. There's other stuff too that I haven't captured. Like, there's like a mule kick glitch, it almost seems like, where it just gives me like a third weapon slot. I don't know if it's actually supposed to be mule kick, but sometimes when I use a juggernaut suit and I get out of it, it just gives me a third weapon slot. The escort missions, I'll fall through the map like I showed you here, but I'll just fail the mission because the helicopter just destroys my LTV. Sometimes my gun will duplicate and one will be the purple version of the gun and one will be the base rarity of the version of the gun. It's so fucking weird, dude. There's some other stuff too, but I just think there needs to be overall just a big polish of this game, man. Other than this, there are a few nitpicky things that I think they should address as well, in no particular order. Kaboom! Make the game a bit easier for solo players. Add new contracts and more of them just to make the game feel like there's no dead space. I'm not actually sure if this is a bug or not, but quick revive didn't work for me on solo. If that's a bug, then they need to look at that quick. But if it's not, if it's planned, they seriously need to change that, because that means for the first time since World at War, quick revive doesn't work when you're on solo, which is absolutely wild to me. And I know there's obviously this self-res kit, but I just feel like there's no point in not letting it res yourself, you know? Just add another layer of help if you're on solo. And obviously there are other players like around the map you can use it on, but let's be real, when you're running into the game on solo, how many times are you gonna use quick revive on them? Not very much. So I just think they need to add that to, you know, just make it a little more useful for solo players. I would say add more boss zombies like the Panzer or the Margwa or the Masher, the Thrasher. I was combining Margwa and Thrasher just to mix the game up a little bit. Add more wonder weapons, and I would say just more stuff overall. I just feel like the game is starting to feel stale, and it's kind of definitely past its honeymoon phase. I do think the game has a solid blueprint for an extraction-based zombies mode, and as much as I'm complaining about it not being like the regular zombies, I'm really glad that they're able to give us a different sort of experience and try to mix things up a bit. I honestly think that it's good for the series, and maybe they can consider doing that for every iteration of zombies that's not Treyarch's main game. I'm kind of having this similar sentiment with Halo Infinite in the fact that I'm thinking, you know, maybe the series could use a bit of a different medium, like maybe a different storytelling medium, narrative-based game instead of a FPS game. Same thing for zombies. Obviously they have other media like comic books. They could make a narrative-based game to get into the lore a little more on their off-season, quote unquote. I would definitely play that if they put some effort into the new storyline that they have going on. Hell, I'm even working on a video talking about how I think zombies would be a great addition to the roguelike genre. Dude, it has like everything you need for that style of game. But that's for another video. Zombies is something that I will truly cherish for as long as I'm alive, I would say. And even though it's different this time around, I'm glad Activision is able to at least see its potential to make some money for them. And I'm happy that the game mode is still around and not lost to time. 5 out of 10. It definitely has a lot of issues that I think needs to be resolved and changed. But I do think there's a solid blueprint there, and the gameplay is addictive enough for me to keep coming back. I do think part of the reason I'm not rating it any lower is because we also haven't had a decent zombies experience for some time at this point. And I think this is a pretty decent experience to hold us over till we get our main zombies experience. However, I do think they have a little something here. However, I do think a lot of the issues make it so that it's just middle of the road, 5 out of 10. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you guys so much. Please consider leaving a like and subscribing if you enjoyed this video. I appreciate it so much. I hope you guys are having a great holiday season, and I hope you guys get the rest that you deserve. Spend some quality time with your family. I have a few plans for the channel going into 2024. Crazy, 2024. So I hope you guys have enjoyed what's been brought here this year. I'm really glad I've been able to post at least as much as I have been, because it makes me so happy that you guys are enjoying the content enough to make it up to a few thousand views, dude. Guys, that's insane. I couldn't have asked for a better Christmas present from you guys. So thank you all for watching. Other than that, your boy Clambo is out of here. Happy holidays to you all. See ya.